Did a podcast a couple days ago about an owner that contacted me and asked us to give her a valuation, let her know what kind of rents she can expect to get for her property. And she became really agitated and upset when I told her the rent range that she can get for the property. I ended up just having to get off the phone and just telling her that we're not the company that can actually help her. Well, she contacted me back and she apologized. We turn down about 83% of all owners, believe it or not, that ask us, our property management company, for service. So we're very selective, and this woman, I really don't want her as a client. But if she's actually going to take the time and energy to apologize, it's tough for us to turn her down, even though she's not an ideal client for us. The reason why she's not an ideal client for us is the woman is telling me that she's on Social Security, she's on a fixed income. Apparently, she has a mortgage on her property, and she wants to rent it to have the rent supplement her retirement. The problem is her mortgage payment will be more than her rent will be. And then I don't think she's understanding, and I'm trying to get her to understand that she'll also have capital expenses. Capital expenses are those things that will mechanically fail. You know, the hot water heater has a life expectancy of 8 years. It'll need to be replaced, likely around 8 years. The roof, 20 years, so on and so forth. Central air unit used to last around 20 years. Now they're coming in around 15 years. You're really lucky if you can get 17 years out of it. So she will be facing expenses, and she's already going into this in a very cash flow poor state. So we invest in real estate because equity increases make us extremely wealthy. As the property values go up, and they go up in such a way that is far more than what you currently owe, it's making you wealthy. But cash flow is what pays your bills. Cash flow is what's going to replace that hot water heater in 8 years. Cash flow is what keeps you safe. So we ideally expect, people have different investment strategies. My investment strategy is I want cash flow out of the property. I must get a certain amount of profit from that property, so much profit that at the end of it, some of it is clearly mine. I can take that profit. It's mine. It's my paycheck. I can take it to Las Vegas. I can take it to Atlantic City, and I can put it on number black, number 5. You know, it's my money to spend. So I expect to have cash flow, and I expect to have equity. If I don't have cash flow, then it's very hard rationalization for me to have the property, to out of pocket it, especially if you're at retirement age. So I think she understands, and she's heard that real estate investing is a good thing to get involved in. I don't know if this woman is crunching her numbers. So, and it's really not for me to say. So, we're a property management company. She's asking us to manage her property. I have tried to counsel her. I have tried to overstep my bounds a little bit and say, hey, this is what it means to own a real estate property. Are you sure? It's not really mine to say what real estate approach anyone should take. I offer my opinions here on the podcast, obviously. So we will manage her property. But just because you have a property doesn't necessarily mean it makes a good rental. And, you really need to understand your numbers. And I'm not positive this person is actually crunching the numbers. So you should know your philosophy. There are real estate investors that just want equity. They don't care about cash flow. And then there's even more real estate investors out there that just want cash flow. They do not care about equity. All they want is that weekly paycheck, that monthly paycheck coming in, and that their strategy is to supplement their paycheck with immense amounts of cash flow. And there's a lot of strategies that can actually do that. Mine is an equity game. Mine and my wife, I should say, is we have an equity game going on, but we do expect cash flow. So just because you want to get involved in real estate investing, just because you've heard it is very good, it's very lucrative, and it is, there's a certain education that one needs to put forth into it. So you do have to have a little bit of an educated approach to it. And I don't know if it's always makes sense with every property to get involved in trying to have it as a rental. So, all right, my name is Joe White. I'm trying to answer your real estate questions the very best I can. You guys have a great weekend.